They said they'd never seen a letter of explanation like that, but I just wanted to be very thorough and break down every single area and all the percentage of increase.
If you're self-employed, listen up. We sat down with Jeff Sturgis, who talks about some of the extra steps he had to go through in order to buy his farm in Minnesota. Some really great insight if you're self-employed. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you do, hit the subscribe button. Let's get right into it. Here we go. Banks and self-employed people, more risky.
Well, you know what's interesting? When we went through even the process of buying the house, we were getting to the end stage, and it's a very frustrating process. And I had been in lending, but when you're self-employed and in COVID times, they made me write a letter explaining why we were still making money.
Isn't that crazy?
It's almost like they don't believe you. We had to give them our bank deposits basically up to the Friday before we closed. It was constant just to show that we weren't having a decline.
Yeah.
It was interesting when you're self-employed, not always, but in our case, we have different income streams. And so unlike some of my friends that lost their jobs through COVID, because they worked for someone and they only had one income stream, basically, we were a lot less risky.
Yeah, maybe one area decreased, but other things increased drastically.
Yeah, and all our areas have been increasing the whole time. So we had to show those numbers. We had to break it down. We had to be patient. And at times I was not patient. It was frustrating. And so I can remember writing that letter of explanation. It took me hours at a Buffalo Wild Wings in Ohio, just sitting there on a day off, just hammering out this letter that I didn't want to do. It ended up like 2.5 pages. And broke it down, and they said they'd never seen a letter of explanation like that. But I just wanted to be very thorough and break down every single area and all the percentage of increase and why each area had been increasing and why we saw that there was no need for it to decrease, no matter if we had COVID or, if there was COVID or not. That's the bad thing about, again, they have to look at black and white decisions.
Yep.
In our case, we were much less risky than the average person working for someone else because we were self-employed.
Yeah. And multiple streams too, of
right.
income.
And that's the thing too. I mean, people need to be realistic. We if you're self-employed, it's great if you get cash, and if someone's getting cash and they're thinking, well, I'll just use this for paying for gas and food and whatever else. But you have to show you make money to actually be able to go in and get a loan. And you could look at some self-employed businesses that are primarily cash. They make a lot of money, but they can't show it. So you're not going to be able to borrow anything. Yeah. And that's just a sad truth. So if you want to have dreams of buying land, buying a house, and you're self-employed, you better show it. And then at the same time, you might be closing in, we closed June 5th, 2019, and we're doing really well in 2020. But we could only look at our average between 2018 and 2019. So if you're increasing every year and you're doing well in your business, you're looking at a window, and it might even be a 3-year average, but it was far below what we were making at that current level. And so that was a little discouraging too. It's like you can show bank deposits what you're making. You can show these different income streams. Better show the money, and you're not going to be able to borrow, and go into it knowing that they might take an average income that's well below what you're currently making.
Yeah, or what you... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know exactly what you're referring to. And I think that's the importance of laying a foundation, maybe because it's a very big decision. And maybe if it takes 2 years to plan and get prepared and be able to be ready to go borrow money.
Right.
That's
important. Which is where at least I had a little bit of financial background, so I understood where they're coming from in most cases. But at the same time, it goes back to going to your local financial institution and being very realistic with your search. So you're not wasting everyone's time.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this. My name is Jake Hofer, and I'm a real estate agent out of the state of Illinois. And it's my goal to help 100 people buy their first farm. Been doing that with the Land Podcast and clips like this every single Thursday and Saturday that are released here on the channel. And to be one of those 100 people, all you have to do is, if you're in the state of Illinois and I can help you, I'd be happy to do so. Number 2, if you want to get connected with someone that can help you, reach out, and I'll be happy to get you in contact with an agent that I would personally do business with. And the last one is, if you just simply learn something from the content we're putting out, or you get inspired to take action, I want to know, get you out of that spreadsheet. I'm on a mission to help 100 people. Until next time, see ya.